Hey YouTube, welcome back. It's going to be another edt1138's Top 3 Tuesdays. And questions this time brought to you by darrenwalshsock. And he asks, what are your top 3 games you wish were in your collection but are currently not? And the 3 that I've picked are all for the MSX2. And the first game at number 3 for the MSX2 is Contra. Yep, Contra for the MSX2 computer. Fantastic game. I have always wanted to get that game, but back in the day I didn't have an MSX2 computer and I really couldn't afford to spend money on a game that I wasn't going to play. So, but recently I did purchase an MSX2 computer, so I'd so love to get that game into my collection. But of course, over the years the game has gone up in value. A box copy will set you back 120 to 150 pounds. Even a loose cart on its own, 50 to 70 pounds. But I would so love to get that game into my collection, and I only wish I'd bought it back then. So yeah, Contra on the MSX2. Next up at number 2, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake for the MSX2. A lot of 2s there. Fantastic game. We all know the Metal Gear series by now. Like Contra, it's the game I should have bought back in the day while it was cheaper, because it has also gone up in value over the years. I've seen box copies on eBay going for £200, £250. I did see one going for about £150 about a week ago, but it was really in bad condition. And it's a game I so love to have in my collection, but it's just I really can't afford it. So, but I do have the soundtrack, and a great soundtrack it is too. Show you what it looks like inside. It's a great game. Who knows? Never say never. And the final game at number 1 is a shoot 'em up, and probably the best shoot 'em up available for the MSX2, surpassing the likes of Gradus and Salamander. And that, of course, is Space Mambo, also by Konami. In fact, all these games are by Konami, and it just shows they made some fantastic games for the system back in the day. It's a fantastic shoot 'em up, great soundtrack. I remember seeing this game for the first time in 1990 while I was in Japan Centre in London. I was looking through some Japanese MSX magazines. I even stupidly went up to inquire about ordering the game, just out of curiosity. I knew you couldn't afford it because, as I mentioned, silly buying a game for a system that I didn't know. But even then they were asking £60 to £80, including postage. So obviously I had to let it go. And of course, over the years, the game has gone up in value. Expect to pay on eBay £150 to £200, and I've even seen loose carts going for £100. So it's one of those games I would so love to own and have in my collection. But I did manage to get hold of the soundtrack while I was in Japan Centre, and even this I paid £25 for back in the day. Just show you the CD, and even has some screenshots of the game. The back. This is that very copy that I bought back in the day. Excellent soundtrack. So there you go, Space Mambo at number 1, and that completes my top 3 games that I'd wish to have in my collection that I currently don't have. Just want to quickly add 2 honourable mentions. Again, 2 MSX games. And the first is an early compile game, a vertical shoot 'em up called Zanak. Fantastic game, and expect to pay anything from £100 to £130 on eBay, fully boxed and complete. There was also a tape version released in Europe, in the Netherlands I believe, by Akosoft. And I was bidding on one about 2 or 3 months ago, and even that went for £40. Obviously lost the bid, so I didn't get it, which is a damn shame, because that also is a game I would love to own in my collection. And the final game, a Konami title, and that's the Cabbage Patch Kids. And honestly, I don't see myself ever owning that game unless I win the lottery, because the last time I saw that game, and it was only just the once, went for £1,600, fully boxed and complete. and I've never seen a loose cart version either. Konami did another version called Athletic Land, which is basically the same game. They just changed characters and the name. And it's a lot cheaper, but it would be so special to own the original Cabbage Patch Kids. There is a Coleco version, which a lot cheaper, obviously, but much prefer the MSX version. So those were the games I wished were in my collection but are currently not. Some really great questions there by Darren. I'll put a link below to his channel. Do head on over to check him out. And great guy, friendly, down to earth. I met him at Replay last year. Really had a good chat there with him about games. And also not to forget edt1138's channel. Both awesome channels, and I'll put both links below. So do head on over to check them out. And also feel free to do a response to what games you wish were in your collection but currently not. So thank you for watching, and bye for now and take care.